Hey everyone, I'm Brianna from Boom Studios and welcome to Boom Chat. Today I have the honor of speaking with Keanu Reeves, Matt Kent, and Ron Garney, the insanely talented team that is bringing you BRZRKR. The man known only as B is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the world for centuries, B may have finally found a refuge, working for the US government to fight the battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, B will be granted the one thing he desires, the truth about his endless blood-soaked existence and how to end it. Okay, Keanu, BRZRKR #1, the opening issue seems to be an Easter egg for your fans. Can the fans look forward to any other Easter eggs in the series?
What Easter egg are you talking about?
There's this image that is very known to some people, sitting on a bench. If you see it, you know it.
It wasn't. If you get that Easter egg out of it, then I think when you make a work of art, people make their own Easter eggs, and on that one, it was not intentional. I'm not.
Okay.
There's also a red and blue pill. That's a little meta. Maybe some people will think that's reference to the Matrix. But if if there's some Easter eggs, hopefully people enjoy them. And
Great.
That's awesome. I'm sure there can't help but be others.
That's what I'm excited to see, is like the fun little things that everybody's going to end up picking out. But from that, what inspired you to create the story of BRZRKR?
I don't know. It happened about in 2017, and I just had this idea of a character that was in the middle of a kind of Viking berserker, had gone berserker in this battle scene, and it just started from there. It was just coming out of this. I don't know. I had this image of a guy kind of punching through someone's chest and coming out of their back and ripping off arms. I don't know why, but I did.
And I know why.
Yeah, that works. So the next question is for Keanu and Matt. Can you both talk about how you developed the overall story and what the process was for breaking it up into comic book appropriate beats?
It started with the initial idea way back in 2017, and then meeting Boom Studios, who gave me the opportunity to make a comic book, and under their direction, curatorship, and their knowledge, really assembled the team that's working on BRZRKR. And in terms of the creative part of it's always developing, and Matt Kent and I have, he's written the first 4 issues. Ron's, as he said, drawing #2. We have outlines from 5 to 8, and while we're working, we're constantly kind of contributing to issues 9 through 12. Originally, when we were talking with Boom, Matt. Well, I'll let you tell the story, Matt. But we, in terms of how many issues, I mean, for me, being a new guy to the business, Boom was saying, look, we usually do these kind of story arcs, and sometimes when we're doing a graphic novel, so they talked about having story arcs from issues, 1 to 4, 5 through 8, and 9 through 12. So Matt Kent and I have kept that in mind on how we're developing the story.
Okay, that's super awesome. All right, Keanu, without spoiling anything, what are you most excited for fans to see?
One moment.
Oh man.
God. I mean,
we took all the good ones.
I mean, there's so many. Issue 1, that moment when B is holding the heart, and he's eating the heart and looking over at the kid, and when the little baby bites the breast,
tiny B.
Call back to favorite.
I'm really interested to see the quantum stuff. I'm trying to figure out how you can put that in there.
it's these moments. There's some moments coming where we're juxtaposing something very emotionally ardent, really like loneliness or connection or loss, and then compulsion to violence, but that this juxtaposition between the violence and the love, or these kind of exciting action sequences, but then also the backdrop of this almost of a kind of tragedy. And I don't know. And then this kind of idea of moving forward and surviving and trying to figure out. And so for me, it's exciting to see the incarnation of this story take all of those forms, with like the moment that Ron's talking about. Oh my gosh, and what we're doing in issue 8. I know I'm not being specific, but your question almost doesn't let me be specific.
Oh, no.
That's the best way, because it gets people excited, makes them want to figure out what it is.
Specific. So there's just going to be some cool situations that are going to be dramatic and fun, and also humor. There's a lot of humor in this piece. Not a lot, but there's humor in this as well.
That's so great. I'm excited because of how excited you all are. Like, I'm so ready for all of it. Okay, so I have one last question, and it is for Keanu. And this is like a personal question for me. I've seen like 1 or 2 of your movies, and there's something I've noticed that like you tend to say in them. Like, so are we going to get a moment maybe where we hear B go, I need guns, lots of guns? Like, is that something that might happen?
Okay, so that line is out of the Matrix film. Director John Wick, Chad Stahelski, wanted that beat in John Wick Chapter 2, and no, I'm sorry, John Wick Chapter 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
And I just was like, Chad, we can't do that. And then Chad was, we can't. But I don't think we'll be doing this for the story of BRZRKR.
Okay, all right, fine. I had to try.
My favorite part of the third John Wick was when the guy sat down next to him, told me he was a big fan when they're in the hotel. That was hilarious. I love that scene. And then he's fighting the 2 guys who are big fans.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Now, what's great about B though is like he doesn't need guns because he uses his hands so much. So
he doesn't need them. Oh my God. Thank you for letting me ask that. I had to. That was just for me. I really appreciate that. So that brings us to the end of this. So Keanu, Matt, Ron, thank you all so much for your time today. It has been so lovely chatting with all of you. And for those of you watching at home, be sure to pick up BRZRKR #1 in stores now.
I also want to give a shout out to the rest of the team here. We have Clem Robbins on and we have Bill Crabtree on colors.
Bill,
Eric, senior editor for Boom Studios, along with Matt Gagnon and all of the cool folks at Boom Studios.